Let's get this show on the road then. Oh crap, I've got to remember. People who watch replay actually get to see the start. Oh well. Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do. Sunday Sharpe, do 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 do. Sunday do 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 do. Ah. Hello, hello, hello. Willkommen, welcome, bonjour, bonsoir, etc. Hello, Dennis the Bionic Bigfoot. Not hot in Seattle. I wish it was 63 degrees here. It's a bit more than that. I think 63 is still fairly warm. Yeah. Fat and hairy. I'm well insulated. I don't do well in the heat. Generally a miracle if I don't get heat stroke if I have to do anything, which is actually what happened this week. But there we go. Yes. How are you? I hope all is healing up well, Dennis. You must be doing marathons by now. Pardon me. Oh dear, that one was lumpy. But yeah, so and relax. Oh, yeah, I've got my backies in. We're all set. Yeah, so not really a lot happened this week. Work, heat stroke, IBS, work, wind, more work. Yeah, upsetting people on YouTube. The usual stuff. Evening, Andrew. How you doing? Hope all is well with you. I was knackered after work yesterday, so that's why I didn't show up. Yes, and as I said, yeah, been a fairly bleh week. Not a lot going on, so it'd be fun to. 9-week post total hip hop. Walking around without a cane now. Round of applause. Round of applause for Dennis and the surgeons. There are days when I wish I had a cane and I haven't had my hips replaced. Adele, darling, how are you, my dear? Hope all is well down under. I mean, as in Australia, not. You know what I meant. Oh, congratulations to Debs on winning the competition. Oh dear. Is she getting close? Because if she is, I'm going to have to start requesting Saturdays off so I can get a lead up again. As we see, I actually managed to dig out the shirt that was made for me. I won on Graham's stream, Aquarium Adventures. A bit under the weather. I'll get well soon, me dearie. Although, is it under weather as in or under the weather as in fluey and you just sound really sexy? Yeah, two different chest infection. I'm not going near that joke. I'm not touching that joke with a barge pole. So I know you probably wouldn't get offended if I went with that joke, but there's probably others who would get offended for you. And they may not be here now, but they might be watching the replay. Ooh, pardon me. Some ladies, when they get a bit of a sore throat, they get that Mariella Frostrup voice going on. Ooh. Yeah, I just sound like a. Yeah. I just sound like Rod Stewart when I got a bad cold. Just a better singer, that's all. Sound like a preview as a male with a freaking. God bless you. Tanks look empty. No, tanks have still got the same amount of platelets in. It's just they're chilling out on the bottom, not on the glass at the moment. And yeah, they've got a bit cloudy again. A certain ghost cat decided it would be a great fun trick to play on me to pull out the airlines from the air pump again. Urgh. We've got the mad mower himself here, zooming around, chopping the flowers and the grasses. And you got work today. Oh dear. Work always sucks. It's even worse when you're feeling rough. Never mind, just look on the upside, Adele. If anyone upset you today when you're at work, you can pass on your disease to them. Chugging cough syrup. Oh, so you're going to be drunk as well. Yeah, don't chug too much cough syrup. I did that once, and it's not pleasant when it comes back up again. I'll put it that way. Non-drowsy. Oh, boo. All work and no play makes Tom a dull boy. Also makes your mower blades dull as well. So, you know, you got to keep them blades sharp, because otherwise people will think you're not professional if your blades are dull. Yeah, just cough a couple of times and then you go, oh, sorry, I've got COVID. Watch them run like hell. I did that once for a laugh. It's a really good way of getting rid of a queue at your till. I tell you that one. Yeah, yes, I did get in trouble for it. Ooh, random. 28 blades, all sharpened from the shop last week. Good for a bit and a bob. Good. Bet that took a while to get all the 28 blades sharpened. What about your scythe? Did you get that done as well? I like to think if you go around the old folks' homes at night cutting their grass with the scythe in a black cape. 140 bucks. That's not bad. $5 a blade, to be honest. They charge more than that here. I think it's normally nearer a tenner. I think it's $5 for a kitchen knife. And just for the record, yes, I can actually use a scythe properly. It's amazing how sharp they do have to be, though, to actually just swash through grass and just chop it all off clean. Got the Grim Reaper outfit, just need a scythe. The thing is, as I said, write it off. Exactly, right up against tax. Howdy, salutations, Fish Fam Linkbot. Greetings, Scotty Aquati, Too Hottie. Hope all are well this weekend. Oh, I mean, I had hoped Adele was well, but she's obviously not. So apparently, I'm not Jesus. Oh well, I just have to cope with having the hair instead. They said he doesn't look a thing like Jesus, but yeah. So what else have we been up to? So yes, took myself out for a bike ride on Thursday. Didn't realise we were at about 95% humidity. Gave myself a dose of heat stroke. That was fun. Coming down with a dose of heat stroke 6 miles from home. And you're all going, hello, here I am. You're going to need to go poopy soon. So yes, just about managed to get home before anything bad happened. I mean, like about 30 seconds before anything bad happened. Yes, swamp ass and dehydration. Yes, quick as I could put it in that end, it was coming out the other. But I think we're back to normal now because it's been rather warm and nasty today. So that just might be because I'm clothed. Hello, Patty. Pretty Patty, how are you, my dear? So there was that. Yeah, so made it home anyway. Found a baby hedgehog on the front lawn, alive. So that was a yay. Kenny, how you doing? Happy, my friend? Okay, well, thanks. How you doing? Here's Sam. Don't worry about being late. Jeez. You know that. Yes, a hoglet, a baby hedgehog. About that big. All spiky and scared. So I picked it up with a leather glove and put it somewhere a bit safer than in the middle of the lawn on a hot day. That's better than. I don't know if I said anything last week. It was last Saturday night because it had been throwing it down with rain. When I went up to go to bed, a froglet sat on my bed. Yes. Now, most times you go get in bed and there's something weird. It's normally a spider, let's be honest. And it's normally that spider at half 10, 11 o'clock at night. And you're like, oh, sake, I've got to get rid of this thing now. Ugh. Yeah, but this was a baby frog, so it was kind of weird. Evening, Nabo. How you doing? Yes, it is Sunday already. Oh, don't call Patty a sissy. Ooh, that's asking for trouble. Yeah, I noticed you're watching some of the old videos. Original tanks I did. Whatever happened to the Flex is still there. It's the one that's got the super red bristle noses breeding in it now. Yeah, you know you can't keep a bristle nose in less than 20 gallons. You can breed them in 15. Yeah, so it's currently home to a pair of super red bristle noses and a pair of pistogram khaki tighties. Quad red, I think they actually are, although they're sold as triple red. Um, yeah, so there's that. Yeah, as I said, my way of aquascaping is you just prisoners in 5. I'm not surprised. It's not that hard. You put a male and female together and give them a cave and plenty of food. It's really not difficult. But yeah, the Sharpe, yeah, keep the water clean. It's not a problem. Do your water changes. There we go. This week's video. Great segue, sir. Um, yeah, so I haven't heard if I've upset any certain fish tubers who are advocating for not doing water changes or cleaning your tanks. But yeah. Again, as I said in that video, oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. I didn't say that in the video. Well, I might do one day, just randomly start singing Danny Boy in the middle of a video. That's weird it happened. But yes, for me, those kind of things, it's fine for someone like me or you guys who are experienced fish keepers who can pull that kind of stuff off. But as we have to remember, 99% of the people who are watching our videos aren't experienced fish keepers with dozens of tanks. They've got one tank and they're just starting out. Don't give them bad advice like that, because they're not going to understand why and how and the chemistries and the balancing and the careful blah blah blah. They're just going to have problems, and then they're going to either keep killing fish or they're just going to leave the hobby, and we don't want either of those things. Hey, you know, Mr. Wet Socks, aka Moist Hose, how you doing? Yeah, I think most people know where I stand on Mr. Foxwell. Let's just say we don't see eye to eye and we don't get on. I'm a little and I don't follow the cult manual, so you know, I don't believe in Sky Daddy. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things that with cults is there's a very fine line between a religion and a cult. Very, very fine line. I mean, if I was going to follow any religion, and let's be honest, I don't know much about a lot of them, to be fair. If I was, it would be Hindu or Sikh, because they always just seem to be really happy, cool, nice people. Okay, they get to wear cool headgear as well, but, and in the Sikhs' case, they get to carry a ceremonial dagger. I'll say, yeah, that's my thing. My cult advocates for pizza every Wednesday. That the cult of Pizza Hut, or whichever one it is nowadays. Not give out bad advice to the general public. If it works for you, then yeah, exactly. It's, you know, follow whatever religion you like. Just don't push it on other people. But yeah, I'd say it's. I see it as, and this is going to sound. No, I'm not using the I word. It's going to sound kind of grandiose, but I see it as kind of like, as a YouTuber, admittedly a tiny channel that has zero traction and no one really pays any attention to a word I say, which is kind of cool. But I see it as I'm advocating for our hobby to new people, like an ambassador, as it were, of fish keeping. That is a bit of a point way of putting it, but you know what I mean. And so to me, it makes sense to give the best advice I can, as to the best of my knowledge anyway, and try and aim things more for people who are just getting into fish keeping, who've just started, they've got their 5-gallon tank and they're better, that kind of stuff. Oh, nobody's got a technical question. Situation, seeing some fin nipping on pipe errors. How much difference do you think water changes make with immune response and recovery? Ooh, the cleaner the water, the cleaner the water, the quicker the fish heal, is the thing. I mean, Mr. Nanakara, Mr. Kara, when he was in here, he was getting bullied by the Limias, and he had a big old patch on his side, which was basically missing scales, and wasn't showing signs of improving, which is the reason I accelerated doing the Blackwater tank and moving them over, literally, as soon as I got them in there with the tannins, the clean water, I'm not saying the water in there's dirty, but a lot lower bio load. As soon as I got in there with tannins, catappa leaves, teak leaves, oak, lime, walnut, whatever other ones I collected, literally then within a fortnight, it was completely back to normal. All the scales back, full colour, no worries. I sell meds, so if you want, buy more meds and keep dirty water. Yeah, true. As I also said, the first thing we are is we're water keepers. Then we're bacteria keepers. Then we're microorganism keepers. Then maybe plant keepers or algae keepers. Fish are the last thing we keep. If you get all the rest of it right, the fish look after themselves. But yeah, so water change. So a bit of salt normally helps Heelys as well. Yeah, I mean, what live bearers are like, because some can just be quite nippy anyway. Backing off from weekly to bi-weekly. Yeah, so if you mean bi-weekly as in twice a week, the only ones that get that are these. Berlin swords, so sword tails, yeah, they can be a bit nippy. And they're not normally too bad. They're probably just, I'm guessing the adult males arguing amongst each other as to who's the big daddy. Or is it the females arguing with each other about who gets to see Big Daddy? Female went after that. Female got annoyed constantly being molested on yeah. Yeah, that just nature, but yeah, clean water and yeah, not promoting pristine water. Yeah, no one wants a completely sterile tank because once a week is once every other week. Fair enough, I see. Yeah, I mean, all my tanks get a water change at least once a week. Most of these twice a week. That's generally because the filters clag up after about 4 days. You know, when you've got 150 bristle noses in 28 litres of water. For the Fluval U1. Now, I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying the Fluval U1 is a bad filter because it clogs up in a week. I'm saying it's not designed for that kind of bio load. Let's just be honest here. Basically, aquarium salt is salt. Yes, sodium carbonate. Oh, sorry, sodium chloride. That's the one. Yes. And still waters here using the kosher salt because these fish wear them funky little hats on the back of their heads. Sorry. Rock salt is labelled not for human consumption because it might have contaminants in it. Yes. It hasn't chemically treated. You might have something completely natural that isn't a problem, isn't going to cause us any harm. Heaven forfend. We can't sell that. We need to treat it first and then add anti-caking agents and iodine. Yeah, no. I mean, I've always liked salt. Good job because I sweat a lot. Yeah, pea salt, exactly. Who doesn't want pea salt? It's got urea in it, which produces ammonia. It'd be great for cycling. There you go. Marine peoples, pea salt. That's what you need. So you can then salt your water and fire off the cycle by using the pea ammonia. It's funny, salt has an expiration date. It doesn't expire. And the expiration date is when the anti-caking agent stops working and you just end up with a solid lump. Yeah. Salt does not expire. Warning, this will go out of date in a year. It may have been under the ground for several million years before we dug it up, but, you know, it's only good for another year. It's like lemon juice in the UK. You buy Jif lemon juice. And not to be confused with the Jif peanut butter. Completely different products. Or Jif kitchen cleaning solution. Yeah, you buy Jiffy lemon. So, lemon juice. And I guarantee you, whatever time of year you buy it, the expiration date will be first week in February. Because on the 14th of, is it the 14th? Oh, pancake, we have Pancake Day, Shrove Tuesday, I believe it is. And it's basically everyone has pancakes for Pancake Day. It's a Lent thing, really just rubbish. And so they always put an expiration date on it just before then. So when people go, oh yeah, it's Pancake Day next week, just go check we've got some lemon juice. And they see that it's going out of date, or it is out of date. Nothing wrong with it. It's pure bloody citric acid. It doesn't go off. Honey, yeah, I think honey is the only thing that doesn't need an expiry date. Rock salt warning is design use, meant for use on roads. Yeah, it's also so. Yeah, I've eaten it. As I say, I like salt, and when I was a kid, because I don't know about in the States or whatever. In the UK, not so much now, but you used to get the big rock salt bins at the end of the road, so that if it got snowy and icy, you could go down there with your bucket, fill it up with rock salt, and just scatter it on your driveway or pavement to clear the ice. And pretty much every day when I went past, I'd grab a little bit of it and yum, yum. Prime added an expiration date recently, probably to stop people who buy a big bottle of it and have 1 5-gallon aquarium and complaining 3 years later that it absolutely stinks like Satan's butthole. Yeah, it's got sulfur in it. Evening, Ricky. Oh, how you doing? Parmesan cheese in America is anti-caking agent. Stinks anyways. Yeah, I don't know. I've got no sense of smell, so Prime smells exactly the same as Chanel number 5 to me. And probably tastes better. We use Fritz Pro Acro Dry. Doesn't stink and works great. I use Seachem Safe, and one tub of that lasts me a couple of years. I hate Safe. Use sodium instead of Prime. Yeah, bit of sodium, bit of potassium, job done. Acro doesn't stink. They're cheap as well. Tom likes cake. How much of a philosopher am I? I guess we can find out. Ask a thought experiment aquarium question. Quite partial. Yeah, well, Dan, you like the smell of rapashi, so I'm not surprised you don't mind the smell of Satan's butthole. It's got a carbon filter on the faucet. Yeah, it's just easy for me to just keep a tub of Safe on top of the washing machine next to the sink I fill up the bucket from. And it's just easy to go, there's enough. Chuck it in the bucket while the bucket's filling in the sink. Job done. I don't know. Oh, you should measure it exactly now. It's like I need like 1/16 of a teaspoon per bucket. It's like Yeah, just a little sprinkle on the tip of the spoon, just the tip. Thought experiments. Yeah, I'm good for those. Let's have a bit of laugh. Because my thoughts don't necessarily go in straight lines like most people's. One tank, I only put one piece of hardscape in it. You must have one plant and one species. One piece of hardscape is going to be a piece of wood. And the one plant is going to be an Anubias nana. And the one species is going to be bristlenose plecos. There we go. A male and a female. Yeah, that simple. Sand and pearlweed. Yeah, and then probably a live barrel, either a live barrel or a tetra, I'm guessing, with that. So you then get the babies surviving. If I'm going to go simple on a tank, then it's basically going to look like one of these. I'm measuring exact requirement measurements of about right all the way up to, yeah, probably good with that. That'll do. Close enough for government work. Yeah, exactly. It's ooh, Ricky's taking over another zoo. Awesome. 10 I've got a 10-gallon bare bottom stand. It's difficult to think what it became. All right, so you've got a 10-gallon sat there. What would I do in a 10-gallon? I'd probably do shrimp tank. Or possibly peridwarf cichlids like Nanacara or Cribby Bibbies or Pistos or Rams. Just a pair of those in there. That's the kind of thing I'd do. Mandy Pandy, how are you, my dear? Micro reservoir. I tried micro reservoirs. They didn't really work well with me. I'm not sure whether they died or they got eaten. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'd probably go Bolivian Rams as well rather than German Blues because German Blues don't like my water. I suppose now I've got the black water tank and I've got that soft water thing figured out. I probably could do it, but yeah, I tried Rams a few times, and yeah, they after a few months they either get Popeye bloat and die, or just die, or go missing. 10-gallon Shelly tank, another good idea. Just sand and a couple of bits of rocks and some Shellys in there. Salient, howdy doody. MNC, hello, how you diddling? Black Rams. Yeah, they made it over here now. They're getting. I've seen them quite a few times. Still ludicrous price for a mutant fish, but and now people are actually back breeding black rams with gold rams to get some really funky colours coming out. New the whole Insta spam thing. Just suck your gut and then stick your butt out, and you'll be fine. And don't forget filters. Yeah, so I just gave up on rams because they don't like my water. So what's the point in keep buying fish that I know are going to die? It's the exact opposite. If you naturally got super soft water, yeah, rams would be great. Don't try keeping shellies. Yeah. What's wrong with fish the way they look natural rather than trying to breed for recessive problems? It was actually when we were in Pets at Home last week. Mary spotted the balloon rams and went, What's wrong with those fish? So when someone who doesn't really have a huge knowledge of fish, you knew what a ram was, because I've had them. So what's wrong with them? They're balloon rams. I've been bred to be ugly. Yes, exactly. Had a 10-gallon Chili tank. We need to upgrade it as fast as they bring up rabbits. I'm sat here with a 15-gallon Chili tank, and I agree with you. Thankfully, I can pretty much sell them as quick as I can breed them. So it's not a problem. I just keep half a dozen adults and sell the rest on. Oh yeah, and rams are very pretty fish, and a pretty tank with pretty fish always looks good. But you know, they just don't do well around here. And the problem is, by the time I get them, they had however long in whatever water is in whichever fish shop, which is probably harder than my tanks are. Yeah, that's my theory. It's like with most fish. If you can get them breeding, or shrimp even, if you can get them to breed, and then you keep a few of the babies back, those babies, those fish will be fully acclimated to your water conditions, and they'll do absolutely fine. That's my thing with shrimp is you don't buy the first batch of shrimp and then you grow those shrimp. Those shrimp are there purely to provide the babies that then stock the tank, because those adults are going to die. How I kept a lot of barbs. I've not had any barbs at all. I'm, if I hadn't gone with the Limia in here, I was going to go with some cherry barbs, just so I could sing, "Here's my cherry barb." Cherry barb. Or yeah. One Bolivian ramming monster. I say they do get big. Roy, how you doing, bud? Mr. Wobble Monster himself, who's funny. We start talking about rams and Roy shows up. How are yours doing, sir? Are they doing the breedies now? And don't apologise for a little bit of algae on the glass. Jeez. That's how tanks look. I can quite imagine that a whole bunch of rams together in a school looks awesome. Um, oh no. Mandy's scud whippers all deaded. But yeah, awesome little things. But yeah, know what you mean about rams. I slam my GH with resin. Yeah, I think I'd probably just end up going through a lot more resin. Being I'm dealing with GH 20 KH 18 out of the tap. Stem plants do I like? Can't go wrong with limnophila, or limnophilia as I call it. That stuff goes nuts. It doesn't shed its needles everywhere like hornwort. I've not really had any others. As some of the others just don't do. Yeah, I say Ludwigia doesn't do well in my water for whatever reason. It just goes, I'm melting, I'm dead. Oh, pardon me. GH20, yeah, exactly. I see people going, oh no, my pH is 7.6 and my GH is 8. Oh no, what will I do? I mean, not have to chip chunks of calcium off your taps every week. Bacopa Carolina, or Caroliniana, yes. I've got Bacopa compactor, not very compact. It tends to go really long and leggy. But it takes an age to get going in my tanks. The only one is really doing well in is the shrimp tank, where I end up chopping large chunks of it out every couple of weeks. It starts growing out of the water and out the back of the lid and lifting the lid up. Oh dear, what you been doing, Dan? DIY plumbing isn't taking chunks out of several fingers. Were you sawing through a pipe while holding it in the wrong place? Booner and shell dwellers have a field day. You reckon? Oh, God. Oh, there we go. Well, HMS crap top was sat on the. There we go. I mean, they like it that much. They're up at the top. I mean, yeah, it's just a few shellies in there. I don't know if any of the fry are going to be visible. There's a bunch of fry down there. There we go. They come in front of the rock. There's a bunch of fry down there. There's a bunch of fry kind of in the middle at the back there. There's a whole bunch over the back there. Some down there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love it. They love to chew their water. Put the camera at least remotely level sharp. Might be a help. Trying to smash the back of a cabinet out to get an angle. Swung across some sharp pipage. Are you going for a Sharpe award, are you, Dan? That's the kind of thing I'd do. Limia, Tiger Limia breed like crazy. Started out with 9, got close to 50. You want to know about Limia breeding? 3, about 18 months ago. I've sold about 100. Yeah. And then somewhere down here will be all the babies. That end. Yeah. Just Limia, more Limia. There's usually a Limia cloud around here as well, hiding out with the large cichlids. Yeah, people buy out rocks and all that stuff to harden their water up, and I just need sand. Yeah, so I don't have to worry about whether a rock might leach calcium carbonate. Oh no, you have to do the vinegar test, otherwise the rock will raise your pH. No, it won't. What's more likely to happen in my tanks is the rock's going to just get bigger as all the calcium just sticks to it. Yeah, a Sharpe award is like a Darwin award, just for a dumb injury. There's a couple of fingers. It's high fives me half what they used to. Yeah. Oh, Well, the shrimp is releasing shrimplets. Always cool when that happens. And we're out. Hang on, we're gonna have to do the weird get the camera to focus thing again. I'll probably look better out of focus, to be honest. And yeah, if you're wondering why has he got a big thing there, yeah, it's they've been resurfacing roads around here lately, which means a thin spray of liquid asphalt and then dump a load of chippings on it. And yeah, I was on a bike ride and chipping flew up off the car that overtook me and hit me in the forehead. So yeah, that's a kind of a Sharpe injury. pH 7, TDS of 225. My TDS is 75 higher than that out of the tap. And yeah, like 90% or 95% of that is calcium carbonate. You know what you need to do, Dan? Just dip them in some cellulose thinner. That'll sort them. Do I breed Neos? Why, yes, I do. I have. Well, technically, I should have one shrimp colony, but they always seem to escape. So I've got a shrimp colony in a 9-gallon flex, which has got a CPD, a pygmy cory, now a longfin super bristle nose. And I've got one that seems to be forming in the tank with the Nanakara, which is actually down at pH somewhere around about 6-ish and is rainwater mostly. Nanakara anomala, yes, Sam's going to be absolutely wasted by the time we get to the end of this one. And just you wait, because Jeff's getting a pair as well. Thank you, Danny Boy, chucking out the linky poos. And Yella also chucking out linky poos. Linky, slap me with that. Evening, Zoltan. How you doing? Good. Always good to see peeps. Oh, I've got the light on. Yeah. This is rather cloudy and dank outside at the moment. It has been raining, which is why the humidity has just gone down. Yay. I'm all right. Mustn't grumble too much. Can grow most plants, but not duckweed. You see, I did really well with duckweed, and then I managed to get rid of it all. And duckweed is, despite what people say, duckweed is really easy to actually get rid of. You just need a comb, a hair comb, literally. Just run it across the surface, pick up all the duckweed, splat, run it across, pick up all the splat, job done. And yeah, duckweed's fine. It's not a problem. And just figure out how deep the tank is, where the water level comes up to on your arm, where you put your hand in, and just get a tattoo of a ring of duckweed around your arm, like a tribal band thing. And then you don't have to worry about it because you're going to have duckweed on there anyway. It looks, yeah, it doesn't like high humidity. It don't like getting wet on top. Yeah. Yes, all Danny Boy's videos are great videos, except for his ones about how to catch fish in the wild. They're very entertaining, but they're not very informative about how to catch fish. They're more about this is how not to catch fish. Let's turn that light on as well. That might help. Oh, I'm visible again. My eyes. MNC's topless. Pardon me. I got lids on all my tanks because I got sick of finding fish on the floor. Duckweed in arowana tank will stop me from jumping out. Yeah, good point. Is it? Yeah, duckweed, salvinia, or anything like that. Off work next week, so part 3 coming up. Fish will be mine. I've got a free tip for you, Dan. Find somewhere that there are actually fish for a start. That does help. Put the traps in the night before, in the evening, and then come back the next day. That way, you will find fish in them. Maggots instead of cat food. Yeah, cat food is actually a really good fish bait. I've caught many a fish on cat food. It's also crayfish. If there are crayfish in the vicinity, I'm going to let you in the tip on the easy way to catch crayfish. You get something like a fish trap or just a net, because it doesn't have to be that technical. You get a can of cat food, either part open the lid or just stab a few holes in it, chuck it in the trap, chuck it in, ignore it for a day, come back and it'll be full of crayfish. Because crayfish love cat food as well. There are found a goldfish on the floor. It jumped. It was dry. Put it in the tank, and 2 days later, it's all good. I've got goldfish in my pond that survived being caught by a cat, carried back to its house, being kept in a mixing bowl of tap water for a day, being fed oatmeal and grapes, then being put in a sandwich bag, taken by a car to where I work, and being taken from there back home in a rucksack in the sandwich bag full of water, and then into an emergency tub just to give it at least a chance. And yeah, it's like a year later and it's lucky he's still swimming around in the pond. Lucky if I can get 2 hours to myself with all the human fry and other demanding family goal members. Done trip. Oh. You do have my sympathies for that, Dan, but yeah, maggots will get straight out. Unless you can, yeah, you can't even put them. Although if you had a really fine mesh bag, like one might say, put into a filter to hold granulated carbon, and you could put the maggots in that. But again, yeah, they're still going to escape. Plus, maggots are bloody expensive these days. Watch the American lad that catches the fish out of the drainage runoffs. Do you mean the young lad who gets super overexcited and squeals like a girl, or the guy with perfect teeth that goes to all the spillways? If it's the one I'm thinking of, you'll know what I mean. I think not diving off the rocks into the pool I'm trying to catch a fish in might help. Yeah. Yes. Calm and quiet and serene and peaceful. Just sit. This is my theory why some people catch fish when they go fishing and others don't. As back when I used to go fishing, I could catch carp literally from me to where this camera is away. Easily. Dr. Wobble Monster, wobble along the carpet, pick them up and bristle out carpet fibres. Yes, they will do. It's a fairly regular thing when you breed plecos that you're going to find plecos on the carpet. Ooh, philosophy challenge number 2, YouTube edition. You have a mental breakdown. Okay, been there, done that many a time. Decide to replace all your species with ones that you don't currently keep. What things would you be interested in? Good question. You see, now the problem there is it wouldn't necessarily be fish I'm interested in. It would be a case of going down to the LFS, going, all right, Dill or Pete, what do you sell well that you can sometimes struggle to get that I can breed? That's what I'd keep. I'd keep the fish that the shop can sell when I breed. Ornery, how you doing? Video of some dude eating a steamed pleco. Oh, I can't imagine it tastes particularly good, but you know, it's a food source to some tribes in the Amazon, isn't it? So can't knock it. Mind you, they eat discus as well, which is probably the best use for discus. Something I wish I had access to. Miniature dwarf arowanas. So arowanas that get like that big. That is the perfect thing, because you could sell thousands of them for a fortune. Discus, they're perfect size to go into a sandwich. That's what they're for. Rice fish, yeah. Although I say I would just basically keep whatever the local shops would sell. And yeah, discus, they're the perfect size for a sandwich. Angelfish, perfect size to go in a cracker. Married, my lovely, how are you, my dear? Mwah, mwah, mwah. Or I've got it, dreamfish. Devil's Hole pop fish. There you go. If someone can special order me some Devil's Hole pop fish, oh yeah, rainbow shiners. Yeah, good call, Danny boy. As they go in a cold water tank, like a goldfish or something, but they're absolutely stunning and not too hard to breed. Brilliant bristle noses. All bristle noses are brilliant and beautiful. Longfin Snow Whites, the price on those is coming down really fast. Yes, I know I'd go to jail if I remember there was a whole pupfish. It's the whole point. Imagine setting up and managing to get Devil's Hole pupfish breeding. Right. Supply some to the actual Devil's Hole to keep them going. They're, you know, and then sell the rest. How much do you reckon you'd get for selling, not years, but monetary value for a Devil's Hole pupfish? There's going to be a fair bit of money. Doing pretty good. Just got the oldest son home. Bit of a quieter weekend for you then. A little less having to entertain everybody. Yeah, I know. I've watched a documentary on them. That's why I said it. Or another one be tiny, teeny tiny little mako sharks that get about that big. That would be awesome. Chris and his oldest brother. Oh dear. And I bet between the pair of them they're causing absolute carnage. Someone type out the full name. I've got to see this. The Devil's Hole Popfish. It's like the rarest fish on the planet. It's found in one cave, on one shelf in the cave, which is what, something like 6 foot by 2 foot. That's the only place it lives. Literally. Ooh, Chris is talking to a girl. Bomb chicka wow wow. Fist bumps for Chris there. You can keep a mako shark in a 4 foot tank. You just need to cut it into pieces. Yes, exactly. A few hours away, I'll get you some. You're going to need to get Tom Cruise in on that to get all Mission Impossible on that one. Is it somewhere like the middle of Arizona or somewhere? Talking between 3 and 10 hours a day. Oh, that's getting serious then. You're going to have the talk with him, Marriott, about the birds and the bees and... Yeah. I'm glad I avoided all those conversations. Mary, who had to do all that, I didn't get. Yeah, bank heist. Yeah, they're way ahead of me. Have you done the get the banana and the condom to show him how to put one on? Bless him. Yeah, Nevada. I knew it was somewhere hot and rocky. It all looks the same to me. Got some sharks in the freezer. I've got a bottle up, but too lazy. I mean, at least they're in the freezer, so they won't start stinking. Remember to chop off the fins, though, so you can make some tasteless soup. God, bad joke. And the fish with all the bristles love the fish with fewer bristles. The angelfish puts a baby in one of their bellies. Exactly. Take my contacts out. Took my stuff as well. 5. Tommy, you sexy beast, you. Love you too. Mwah. Hello, Caleb. How you doing? And Rebecca, who's been going to a local fish society event. I hope any anxieties didn't cause any issues. And I hope the people there smelled good. We had a customer yesterday who once he'd been and gone, I just turned around to my manager and said, I bet he shops in Games Workshop. He just looked like that kind of a person. Imagine comic book guy, but without the beard and ponytail. That's pretty much what he looked like and sounded like. Yes, happy Sunday. Now, unfortunately, the only songs I know about Sunday, they're not exactly happy songs. And I'm pretty sure, even with my awful singing voice, that Bonio would probably get upset with me if I started singing his songs. Yes, I know, it's Bono. Have a good and keep it. Don't work too hard. Have fun. Stay safe. All the good stuff. Clean your tanks. Not that I'm aware of, Rebecca. I've been trying to say hi to Tommy. He keeps coming up, service unavailable. Yeah, I think it's a YouTube glitch. It was playing silly buggers last week. In Colchester this week, you have my sympathies. It's a military town. Strange area. Yeah, it's got the bus, and that was a bad choice. I can imagine. I've been to Colchester many a time. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, there we go. There's Caleb's channel. Oh, pardon me. There's Tommy. Tommy. There's his channel. What the hell's that? I see a YouTube logo in the chat. That's Yellow putting links up. Ash Meadows Conservation Facility, yes. Yes, the only place that does have them. And it would be so ironic if I had the right water conditions, though, wouldn't it? And being as it's Nevada, as we said, it probably is pretty hard water. Here's where I send them a water sample out of my tap and they go, yeah, that's what we've been looking for years. YouTube member sticker has been made about 5 times bigger in the most recent update. Ah, yes. You can avoid the barbed wire is the point. Oh, only went because my friend was selling fish. 3 hours being patronised by certain people is not for me. I can imagine. And because you're an attractive young lady, I can understand exactly how that went. You're young, you know nothing. Actually, I know more than you do. I've been studying this crap for a living for the last 5 years. Working on a small hammer mill update video and making some real country type content. Yeehaw! Embracing my inner white trash. It's not inner. You are white, but you are certainly not trash. Tell me I'm young and know nothing, I'll take it. Yeah, I actually had a customer call me boy yesterday. Thanks, boy. I'm like, I'm actually older than you are. Caleb's working on a monkey vid. Sorry, had to be done. It's one of the very few animal impressions I can do. Do I use plants in a 10-gallon pleco tank? Yes, I would if I had 10-gallon pleco tanks. Technically, I do. There's 3 clown plecos in the Nanakara tank, and that's a 10-gallon. I'm not bad at Wookiee. That's not an impression of an animal. That's just my natural voice. Scientists have known for a few decades now that diving beetles share the waterlogged limestone cavern known as Devil's Hole. It probably is relatively similar to my tap water then. Perfect, not an impression. Yeah, I am basically a shaved ape. Yeah. No, the Devil's Hole pupfish certainly isn't legal. Even Americans aren't allowed that one. It's kind of a joke. It's going to be my go-to whenever people ask me what my dream fish would be now. Just need some beetles. I've got plenty of them in the pond. But diving beetles in the pond, that's not a problem. I just got to get them before the goldfish eat them. There we go. I just had an urge for squeaky poop. Get sent to Guantanamo for touching them. I'll be able to have a chat with Donald then, won't I? Researchers conclude the beetles are eating the eggs, and with more of the beetles removed, more offspring can now survive. There we go. That's the bristlenose breeding scene. Actually, I'll bloody check. That cave's looking a bit clean. The cave's been cleaned out. Spotty, are you in there? No, we're safe that way. We're safe. No breeding going on. And Fred was out and about earlier. No, not got a dog. Just I saw a squeaky poop toy and had to buy it. It's called the dog. And they confused the cat. If the cave is a rocking, don't go knocking. Hey, if the cave is a rocking, get the camera out and start filming it. Perfect for OnlyFins. Get a good old bristlegasm going. Technicians keep a drunk and keep the cake when he gets his 10,000th beetle. Oh. Yeah. Bristle tremblers and bristlegasms ahoy. No, literally, right. There is in my How to Breed Bristlenoses playlist, there is actually a 10-minute video of me just watching Spotty having a massive bristlegasm. I actually turned around one day and it was like, oh, they're doing it. Grab the camera quick. Literally just sat there narrating fish porn. Yeah, they literally, you see him sit there and his bristles are trembling away going, you can see the money shot, as it were. I mean, you don't get better than that, right? You're doing a breeding video and you're actually watching the breeding happening. And then you go and you film a species profile without the actual fish showing up in the video. Two of my Xanthellus give it a go on a juvenile female, not that it go anywhere. She was not compliant enough. He needed to get her more flowers or bring her some wood to nibble on or something. Get her dinner. Some. Oh, I was going to try and come up with a. Yeah, bad drug name. Yes, it's not an. It's no offence ever to be taken to have someone naming an animal after you. If an adult animal tries to breed with a juvenile animal, that animal will be considered a pedo. Pedophilia, yeah. A recent name, Chuck Norris and Fire Truck. Yes, Four Fingers is my nickname. Can't be your monkey with a gangster name. Yeah, I'll say, as we all know, my nickname decades has been Chewy or Wookie or something that begins with C and rhymes with hunt. Or oik. Or just living in Norfolk, anyone male's nickname is Buh. You right, Buh? Seven cool fingers. Why? Because it keeps biting them. Coagulant. What's the yeah, I was going to rehypnol. I was going for a rehypnol based joke, but then thought better of it. One of them has that of trying to breed with a pleck of offspring. Yeah, in fish it's okay. Bit of incest once in a while doesn't hurt. It's just when you do it all the time and then you end up with things like guppies that are completely fragile and prone to genetic problems, or betters that are exactly the same. Webbed feet is Norfolk people. So if my feet were webbed, they might be a bit bigger. But yeah, I'm not Norfolk, so I have the correct number of fingers and toes and no webbing. I'm also able to speak English that is understood by people outside of the county. Sometimes. Yeah, it was just like one of the other jokes. You know those shoes you get with like, or even the socks, and they've got the individual toes in them. They don't sell well in Norfolk. Isle of Wight is even better for that kind of stuff. Well, yeah, well, at least the Isle of Wight's got the got the excuse that they are an island. I mean, technically everywhere's an island, but it's a big trip for them to come to the mainland. And when they do, they go to Portsmouth. So, you know, we're going to leave our little inbred island and go join with the Navy. At this point, I'm already deformed. You're not deformed, you had an accident. What do you do for gloves with extra or less? Well, with less, Tommy would probably be able to answer that, and I'm guessing it's just going to be chop a finger off and sew the hole up. But there are knitting patterns, and you can actually buy six-fingered gloves. You can buy them in Norwich, not for your sister aunt. Yeah. Or for your father uncle. Yeah, no, it is no joke. You can actually buy six-fingered gloves in Norfolk. I'm not saying there's a huge demand for them, not anymore, because they do. When children are born with extra digits, they do actually surgically remove them these days with the upcharge for a pedicure. Can't stitch an extra. Yeah, you just have to kind of. The thing is, though, most people in Norfolk that have got, well, most people that have got the extra fingers, no, it's not polydactyly, that's when they're fused. Most people who've got the extra fingers don't really have the mental capacities to do anything. You need to put disposable gloves on. Yeah. Well, if I can buy six-finger gloves in Norfolk, why can't I get four-finger gloves in Texas? Yeah, I mean, surely there's got to be plenty of people who manage to shoot their fingers off. I mean, it's like, What about people who are missing a leg? Do they still have to buy pairs of shoes and pairs of socks? Or people who are missing an arm or a hand, do they still have to buy a pair of gloves, of which 50% is completely useless? Sent it too quick and this stupid heart thing got in the way. If you cut it off without sewing it, you're not protected. I tried that, you just get rocks and sand in the hole. Yeah, you don't want rocks and sand in your hole. It's always better to tuck it in. Yeah, there is always that. I mean, the comedian Dave Allen, if you're not familiar, very, very funny comedian. There's plenty of his stuff up on YouTube. But he was missing one of his fingers to, I think, that joint. So he used to sit there with his finger. But of course, no, he's only got that much of a finger. See you later, Danny boy. How to get a human fry into a baby over one hand. I'll see you next week then. Which you've got that would be an awesome video, Tommy. Making yourself a prosthetic finger. I mean, you got to make it not look like a normal finger. It's got to be something really funky and cool, like just metal. Or like a chicken's claw or something like that. Or even just with a magnet in the end of it, so you can pick screws and stuff up, and you've got a magnet attached to your hand. Steampunk meets redneck. Look like a Harley then. Yeah, Tommy managed to not so surgically remove a finger with a chop saw. And you know what? People who do suffer from polydactyly are really good at doing live long and prosper. Sorry, people. I couldn't resist that joke. I'm not taking the Mickey out of you for your affliction. I'm just mocking the joke. Cut the whole left hand off, and I was 16 with a table, so different parts of the body to rebuild what fingers they could save. Missing the left ring finger. Yeah. Tommy's basically the Texan version of me. When it comes to dumb injuries, he just hit knock angle in plywood, flip board on the blade, and slam my hand against the blade. Clean cut. Yeah. Mum always told us if you jank off too much, your finger will go missing. But yeah, that's a different thing with girls, Patty. I think most of us have seen the movie Teeth, and perhaps that's what she's referring to. You did do a good job. It kind of works like I used to, and if he uses his left hand, it feels like it's someone else doing it. Yay! Paddy's channel includes no content. A lot of nerve damage. Yeah, nerve damage sometimes just doesn't heal. There's not a lot you can do about it. So, yeah, I've damaged nerves. Somehow I've still got all 10 digits. You obviously weren't doing it enough then, Patty. Or you using cucumbers. Yeah. Missing your left ring finger's a lifesaver. No wedding ring. Yeah, at least you're not going to get your wedding ring trapped somewhere. Yeah, we're going to go with it saving a bus full of orphans from a fire. That sounds better. Yes. Inbuilt cucumber slicer. Oh dear. Oh, pardon me. Bit windy today. That might be because I had 8 sausage rolls for breakfast. Only little sausage rolls, but you know. Had my arm broken, a good break. Any of the issues went after around 2 years. Yeah, so my right ankle and right shoulder still play up when the weather's about to change. Range of motion is horrid. Index finger stuck at 90 degree. Middle finger won't extend because there's not enough tendon. Well, yeah, because there's not a lot of meat on the bones with you, Rebecca, is there? So it broke it and it healed. The bone normally heals a bit thicker. So that might explain it. Yeah, I just mullered my ankle and seriously thought about hitting it with a hammer. I have done that. Break it straight, it would destroy the tendons. Yeah, and then you'd have zero movement in it or zero use for it. Tendons can grow and repair, but it takes a long time, and you'd have to have the finger or the offending article in a cast for a long time to let the fingers or let the tendons reheal. I've broken all my fingers and both my thumbs multiple times, and my hands and my feet, most of my ribs, skull, nose, legs. Uh, yeah, I'll say if the tendon's just too short to be able to, then it's not going to do it. It's just yes, that is the thing with broken fingers. Without an X-ray, you really can't tell. Um, the only reason with some of mine you can tell is because the nails don't grow straight. But yeah, not one of those is actually straight. They're all kind of bent at some weird angle. But after a few, you stop bothering. You just strap them together with a lollipop stick in the middle and carry on. In a Jeep, roll over in a Jeep going 80 on the interstate, broke every bone from my waist up, punctured both my lungs. Part of the roll bar went 3 inches in the back of the head. Yes, that's why we get on so well, Yella. I've not had the single big thing happen like either of you. I just had multiple little ones. um, yeah, so I'll always joke about my injuries, but anything what I would call serious. So I had a massive car accident or sawn my hand off or anything. The worst was probably my ankle, and that was dumb footballing injury. And it wasn't a bad tackle. It wasn't anything. Nobody touched me. It went on its own. Hello, Junebug. And then Ricky's been messing about with the wildlife too much. Cobra bites, widow bites. Yeah, I just try and avoid anything that wants to kill me with its face. So I didn't lose anything, but I snapped my Achilles tendon, dislocated the ankle, and fractured, or broke it as well at the same time. So I spent 4 months in a cast up to just below my knee and out past the end of my foot. So my entire foot was encased, so it physically couldn't move. Operation put everything back together, which I woke up halfway through. Then it was another 3 months in a pop cast, and then months months of building the strength back up in my leg because I hadn't used it for nearly a year. And now, I've got fairly full range of motion still in it. I can't play football anymore, but I'm mid-40s anyway, so it's not a problem now. And it just aches like buggery when there's going to be a thunderstorm generally. And that's just dislocated so many times that it's just there. Okay, see you later, Mandy. Enjoy your grocery shopping. And we are all very glad that you did recover. Cheers to my injury-laden friends. Thanks to the wonder of the internet and the weirdness of YouTube, we somehow managed to find each other. Just to wind up, Mandy. Aquariums attract strange people. It's just, hobbies attach strange people. Yes, head injuries do indeed suck. Although a mild concussion can be quite fun. It just makes you really sleepy, and you feel kind of drunk. But then you just go to sleep, and then you wake up and you've got a headache. So a concussion's a bit like a hangover. You just don't feel sick afterwards. Knowing how much Mandy hates Baby Shark. That's the problem. If you've got kids at that age, had a skull fracture as a baby, guilt trip mum and say gave me dyslexia. Yeah, mine were both as an adult two were from falling out of bed. I think that's both the skull fractures, falling out of bed and hitting an open drawer on the way down on the bedside cabinet. Then you wake up at mid-morning, wondering why your phone's going crazy because you've not turned up to work, and why your head's stuck to the carpet, why you got such a raging headache. We're all messed up. Some of us are just more open. I'm bat crap crazy, almost a modern Diogenes, minus the public nudity. Oh, damn. I have no idea what historical figure I'd be. Was alcohol involved? In my case, quite probably. Yeah, I was probably still drinking for at least the first one. I mean, I nearly knocked myself out fishing. So, that was fun. Cycling back 2.5 miles through town with about 50-pound, 25 kilo of fishing gear strapped to my back and the bike with a pretty bad concussion. was interesting. DNA test came back and knew it was the sea waves from Dad's side, and now I give him a guilt trip and get whatever I want. Sorry to hear that it is all confirmed, Ricky, but you keep in you. If there's treatment available, have it. If not, just be yourself. So you fell backwards on a concrete park bench on the more concrete. Yeah, it's amazing how they used to design everything made out of concrete and then wonder why people kept fracturing their skulls when they fell over on it. But yeah, no, I with the fishing one, I had a hook link snap and a 1 ounce lead come flying back at my head like an Exocet missile. Yeah, at the moment, Ricky, your blood is probably more toxic to the animals than the animals are to you. Yeah, concrete kids' playgrounds, exactly. Didn't have all the rubber safety matting when I was a lad. Half of them were gravel or pavemented. See, metal slides in the playground work okay in a cooler country, somewhere like the UK, but yeah, I can imagine somewhere like LA is basically just somewhere to cook your bacon or eggs. Somewhere colder, yeah, you're just going to get halfway down and stick. Yeah, come down the slide. Yeah, you got good at coming flying off the end of the slide and running. So you come off the end of the slide, land on your feet, and just keep going until you hit the wall at the end. You got your hands out. Whoa! Yeah, it was all part of the fun of it. And then when someone got it wrong, you laughed at them. And they got up, dusted themselves down, picked the bits of road rash gravel out of their leg or whatever, and went back up and came down the slide again. Simple as that. Yeah. So, I don't know. A metal slide in Texas is basically just an oven. Probably an air fryer, technically. Yeah. Toasting machines. Premier in, yeah. Or a Corby trouser press. Yeah, those were the days. With the steel monkey bars that had been there since the 70s, they were all rusted. Cut your hands to ribbons. The swings with chains that you'd get little bits of skin caught in between the links of the chain. Yeah, all the interesting ways you learned how not to injure yourself. And it fell off. It hurt. Stuck to a metal slide voice and touching it with my hand. Didn't we, a kid? Yes. Been there, done that. It's not quite peeing on an electric fence, but you know. Yeah, getting tongue tied, tongue tangulations. Yeah, licking an icy pole and go, I'm stuck, I can't get out. And desperately trying to spit on it to melt the ice so you can get your tongue off. Ripping the tip of your tongue open and then bleeding everywhere for about half an hour. Good fun. Good times. Yeah, but you know, you look back these days, you see that kind of stuff, you go, that was funny. it was actually more kind of educational back when I was a kid. It's like, yeah, this is what happens when you do this. So then we all obviously went out and did it and found out the hard way. Yeah. Just have a bunch. That's one of those survival tricks they say, though, isn't it? If you find yourself stuck out in the wilderness and it's super cold and you're getting hypothermia, in a bottle and keep the bottle inside your sleeping bag or whatever with you, and it will keep you warmer. Yeah. Charlie says, "Don't f around" advert. Oh, those Charlie Says adverts. They're awesome. If you want something, I won't say fun or funny to watch, there are videos up on YouTube, and I'm guessing Sam will probably find one, where it's like American reacts to British adverts, and it'll be like the more sort of the shocking ones that we remember, the ones where we, it's like the don't play with fireworks ones where the kid blows his hand off with a firework. Those kind of adverts that they put on primetime TV. Or like the Sally Army and Bernardo's and stuff like that. Yeah, we learned our limitations rather well as kids. Yeah, we learned what hurts, how not to do it, and what to do about the hurt. And can you get away without your parents finding out about it? Because then you'll probably get a smack for being dumb enough as to get yourself hurt in such a stupid way. So the cartoons they watch nowadays and nephew, just garbage. Yes, bring back the old stuff we used to watch as kids. No, which, come to think of it, most of the TV I used to watch as a kid will probably be rated like 15 or 18 these days due to the content. Even the kiddies TV. Oh, come on. We all remember Zelda from Thunderhawks. She was terrifying. And you guys in America didn't have to deal with Rod Hull and Emu. Is it me? I'm hearing choppy audio. Pass. I'm still talking the same. Yeah, Rod Hull and Emu. You never had to experience that. Thank yourself. Thank your lucky stars. A collage of all the safety ads there. It is funny, in a really dark way. Well, we remember seeing them when they first came out, and they worked. But yeah, seeing people react, see younger people react to them, just the level of shock they have. It's like, yeah, that's why we don't do the dumb shit you do. That's why we didn't take part in the TikTok challenge to lick toilet seats, because we're not that dumb. We didn't need a safety video telling us not to lick toilet seats. Or eat laundry detergent. We kind of knew that was a bad thing. Oh, we huffed model glue, No, not huffed it, but we built model kits in confined areas with no ventilation, and the old balsa wood planes with the tissue paper and using the dope is literally the word for it. Not talking about a drug, we're talking about the actual chemical dope, using that to stretch the tissue paper tight. Get high as a kite off that, about 8. Can't wait for the fully loaded Russian roulette challenge. It's been done. people have played Russian roulette with a semi-auto. There was another one, I think, was it Vietnam? Might have been, where they played Russian roulette with an anti-tank landmine. What? Yeah, they were drinking and they took turns stamping on the anti-tank landmine. Suffice to say, none of them survived. Yeah, something designed to kill a tank is going to make a mess of soft, squishy humans. Designed to destroy several inches of steel. Your foot is not going to do well. Trust me, I've blown my foot up. Ironically, the same leg I mullered the ankle. But yeah, it's, building plastic model kits, something all us boys did up to a certain age, then some of us carried on. But these days, virtually everything we use is now you've got to be 16 or 18 to buy it. You've got to be 18 to buy a hobby knife. You've got to be 18 to buy the solvent-based or enamel-based paints. You've got to be 16 to buy the glue. You've got to be 18 to buy super glue. Quite how Games Workshop are actually still in business, because every time they sell super glue, they're probably breaking the law. Kids nowadays are dumb. We were dumb too, but we learned from dumb. We had a certain level of understanding of, yeah, don't do that. But we understood that if it said poisonous on it, you don't eat it. Says the guy who was a very young baby, drunk Ajax liquid. The smoking age was 16 when I was young as well. And I remember going into the corner shop to buy a pack of ciggies, because it changed on the Sunday. So on Sunday, if you were 16, you could buy ciggies. On Monday, you had to be 18. So you can imagine, I was in the shop buying ciggies when a young lad of 16 or 17 walked in and went to buy ciggies like he always had, and now he couldn't. You needed ID to prove you were 18. I was like late 20s, I think, when that happened, so it weren't an issue. I never got asked for ID when I was underage. It was only when I was actually of age that I got asked for ID for things. I think the laws tightened up a little bit. Skull and crossbones mean added flavour, yes. And the warning: this product contains chemicals known to the state of California to cause birth defects and other reproductive harm. Yeah. Yeah, you get that on electric motors. Why? Because there's lead in the solder. Yeah, like people are going to go eating motors. I mean, I know people are dumb, but really? These days you can probably only buy one because of the copper in the commutator and the wires. But, it's kind of amusing. There is a limit to how much copper pipe a plumber can buy, which is why they're using so much more plastic pipe. Not only because it's cheaper and easier to use, but yeah, there are limits to how much copper they're actually allowed to buy, which is weird. But copper's getting more and more valuable. It's not far off of the point where I might just start sweeping up the muck that comes out from underneath the copper pipe rack and panning it and then saving up the copper. The non-gold bearing area version of gold panning. probably be more reproductive than, or more productive than not reproductive. You know, I don't want to crossbreed with a copper pipe. Although, if you get some 8 mil, that might be about the right size. But yeah, there's probably more value in copper in dust and swarf underneath that copper stand than there is in gold in the whole of Norfolk. So, Norfolk's one of the biggest counties in the UK. So it's just not a gold bearing area. If it was, I would have a gold pan. And I'm not buying sack upon sack of sand to go through and get 2 or 3 pieces of flour gold. It's just not worth it. It's a fun experiment. And Klesh has done it on YouTube, I think. And there was someone else, I can't remember who. Yeah, copper is an indicator of market demands based on stainless steel. Yeah, it is. So much more has copper in it now that copper, you know, is in more demand, so the price goes up. It's like prime energy drink. Yeah. When there's loads and loads of that available, the cost will, or the price will go down. I used to say when copper is in demand, things are going to get good. Yeah, that don't really work like that anymore, does it? Because when copper was in demand, it was because they were building a lot of new houses. Yeah, I try and stay away from silver. It's dangerous for me. I'm okay most of the time, but you know, full moons, definitely stay away from silver. Yeah, I never saw the point of hoarding silver and gold for like, or what about when like, the apocalypse comes and I'll have all my silver and gold and I'll be, yeah, it'll be valueless. I'm a werewolf. It's not an allergy, it's a deadly thing. No, the only things I'm allergic to are wasps and seaweed. Yeah, thankfully it's not the seaweed. It's not the nori that they use in sushi. It's the British native flavours of seaweed that I'm allergic to. That might just mean I'm allergic to North Sea water, which would explain a lot. Yeah, silver's needing phones. Yeah, but if you know the power grid gets taken down, a phone is pointless. Vampires are like silver, werewolf is white. Yeah, werewolf is silver as well. Vampire is wood. You shoot a werewolf with a silver bullet, put a wooden stake through a vampire's heart. Although, you know, I mean, if you put a wooden stake through anyone's heart, it's going to kill them. So there is that. Oh, we put a wooden stake through his heart and he died. He must be a vampire. It's like, we put a witch in water and she drowned. Why is the water cloudy? Why is the sponge filter so coarse? The water is cloudy because we're having bacterial blooms because we've got 150 bristle noses in 28 litres of water and they're due for a water change. Why is the sponge filter so coarse? Yeah, because that's just how the sponge filter is. Your tank. Water cloudy, probably a bacterial bloom. Don't worry about it. It'll sort itself out. Sponge filter coarse because it's just the way the sponge filter is. And coarser ones are probably better than the finer ones. The finer ones, yes, they do pick up all the gunk. but it's an absolute pain in the butt to get it out again afterwards. They will literally go solid on you. And one thing, moss actually acts as a fine filter. Yeah, yeah. I mean, moss is basically just living green floss, isn't it? Any gunk will stick to it. And your shrimpies come along, or your little live bearers come along, go and clean it all up for you. Wooden stakes and nail them into their coffin. Yes, but you know how these things started out. It's like the whole thing with ducking witches is like, if you drown, you're not a witch. If you don't drown, then we're going to burn you because you're a witch. So you either want to drown me or you want to burn me to death. Which is the most preferable way to die? I'm probably going to go with drowning. I think I'd probably take the choice of just breathing in underwater. Yeah, in Eastern Europe, there are still places that still do that, with the staking the person into the coffin and doing weird things with the heart. It's illegal, but it's still practiced. Let's say it's folklore. These things happen. Speaking of folklore, next Sunday going to be an interesting one. As Mary and I are going to the Black Shuck Festival in Bungay, spelt Bungay, so it's not pronounced Bungay, it's Bungay, and not like the thing that you used to do when you were playing Worms, Bungay. You'll regret that. Anyone who played Worms is now flashing back. So the Black Shuck Festival. So Bungay and Blytheborough were the two places where Old Shuck was first encountered, according to written folklore anyway. And as I've encountered him myself, Shuck being a hellhound, a gigantic shaggy dog with burning red eyes, who I actually think is a protective spirit, not a malevolent one. But there we go. So we're going to go visit that and see what that's all about. If I can do some filmaging there. But yeah, let me stick it in the chat in case anyone's interested. Can I remember how to type? There we go. Whatever you do, just don't get unaligned. I'm fine. I've encountered Old Shuck a couple of times. We get on okay. He's cool. I'll say I saw him when I was 10. And then it was only this year I went and revisited the place where I saw him and felt a presence. Nanakara Anomala. There you go, Sam, have another drink. And yeah, the presence was there, so I was like, said hello. I can feel you. If that's you, Old Shuck, then I remember you. Hope you remember me. I mean, harm, no disrespect, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff, and just kind of faded into the background. It's like, oh yeah, you're cool. It happens a lot. You just acknowledge to a spirit that you know it's there, and that you mean no harm or disrespect, and they tend to just leave you be. No, the one at work doesn't, but there's certain people he doesn't like. Loud, brash women. He really doesn't like them. Although he did throw something at me yesterday. He threw a small piece of cardboard at me. Now that might sound bad. No, there's a ghost throwing things at me, but yeah, small piece of cardboard. Whereas there's certain women that work there have had like drill bits thrown at them. It's good, and I'll bottle that one up quick. Yes. See a beautiful girl at the beach. I feel a presence nearby. It's my wife's stare. Ah, yes, that one. I try not to go to the beach because sun, sand, water. But yeah, I'm kind of at that age now where I just don't even notice. And if anything, it's Mary digging me in the ribs, going, "Look at her." I'm like, nah, you're hotter. Oh, she looks way too high a maintenance for me. There we go. And it looks like, according to Pootery Timery Thingery, my time is up. So thank you to everyone who hung out with me and spent a couple of hours listening to random waffle and nonsense. Oh, and wind. Mine is a great recorder. It is. Mine isn't. That's why I have my name on stuff, so I remember who I am. Howdy, Scott. How you doing, Mr. Alien World Hairsoft? Just in time for me to sign off. There we go. So yes, thanks to everyone who's here. Putting up my waffle again for another week. Same time next week. Should we make it a date? Okay. Stay safe. Have fun. Peace out. Rock on. Bye bye. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Meep.